two, one. We're live. Live with BigPo. BigPo in the house.
Yoski.
All right, man. Get you lounged out, son. I like it.
Yeah, man, you got a pretty cool setup. Like,
Yeah, you like it? Does it
I'm
feel?
literally like needed to really relax and get out of the truck for a minute, and just kick back.
Yeah. Is it feel homey?
It definitely feels homey. I like it. Matter of fact, just like Kelly said, you might be an interior decorator. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know that I'm good enough for all that yet, but maybe one day. But yeah, I know that you are headed to Indianapolis. You got a show. I won't have you very long, but I'm excited for the time that I have. So let's talk about your show.
Yeah, well, it's actually a benefit for one of our Po folks, a guy that really has supported a lot of people, a lot of artists in this Indianapolis area, and
Nice.
really, all over the country that does the genre that I do. We lost Bill 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he used to make these wood ornaments for all the artists, and he's at all the events. Him and his family always there showing love, always buying merchandise, and so we all come together for his family, his wife Barbara, and we tried to contribute, and help, as they're going through this tough time. It's that financial burden,
Yeah.
always it feels like a monkey on your back. So we a lot of artists all the way from Georgia to Kentucky to everywhere coming to play to raise money for their families, for Bill Gibson's family. So
And that's tonight?
that's tonight at the Citadel in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. It's really cool to see that camaraderie too, like
Yeah,
bringing everybody together.
and I think that the kind of music that we do, I think it's the good old boy mentality that you help one another. We don't all consider ourselves to be superstars. We're just like everybody else. We try to stay level and
Yeah,
down on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
I like that, man. I love it. And it's even it's really cool too, because just to get you here, you know what I mean? Like it's it's wild, because I think about the first time I met you, which
Yeah.
this is only number two for those of you that are watching. And but it was cool because I showed up. Adam had me come out to one of his shows, and I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't know who you were. I got there. I was like, "Who's this guy with no shoes on?" He's like, "That's Poe." I was like, "Who the hell's Poe?" And then I just talked to you for a little bit, and I was like, "This
Right.
guy's a real, like, you could just tell you're a genuine, down to earth, good dude." And I was like, "Man, that's cool." And then when you hit me up and you're like, "Hey, I'd like to be on the podcast," I was like, wow, like I couldn't even believe that
Well,
you watched it. You know what I mean?
you'd messaged me before. Like I watch people that are goal oriented. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to see people start at the bottom,
Yeah.
start adding to it, build. And I watched you say, I'm going to have a podcast and I'm going to do this. And you kept taking those steps to do it. So, and that's how I got it out the mud, like one step at a
Yeah.
time. And so, when there's artists that are just getting in the game, or artists, I like to reach down and say, hey, let me help you out. Let me get you out there. I want to see people win. And you don't get that a lot when you're in this business, because
You
it's so
don't.
cutthroat, man.
Yeah.
And so I just like to see good people win, and
That
that's
is
why I'm here. So,
that, and it's like that's the nicest thing. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
it's really cool, and it is. And I know, like, I'm sure you probably deal with it more than me, but it's everybody's always gonna, they're
yeah.
always gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
2020. I got the hottest mixtapes.
Yeah. I get so
You know what
tired
I'm
of hearing
saying?
gonna. I get so tired of
Yeah,
hearing gonna. And so I try to approach that with real caution. I try not to say gonna unless I've already kind of got it in the bag a little bit,
right.
like it's already
You
going.
gotta plant that seed, man. You gotta manifest things.
Yeah.
I was watching something the other day, and I was an interview or something on YouTube, and they were talking. It was Russ. It was an artist named Russ. He was doing Drink Champs interview. And he was like, you literally got to be delusional to do great things.
Boy, that hits home.
So not in the whole sense of delusional, but like, you have to believe in something that's unseen, that you've never done, you've never accomplished. So you kind of got to visualize that. And some goals may be way far fetched, but, I've learned that if you just start and plant that seed, start watering it, feeding the ideas, give it a little bit more energy. And the more energy you give something, the next thing you know, you've done it. And that's how I treat this music, you know, with my plans for videos and stuff like that. Like, I'm thinking way out. Like, there's a method to the madness, you know.
Yep.
And it all starts with manifestation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do know exactly what you're saying. And I've even said that on this podcast before, that sometimes I feel like like I walk a real fine line of like super overly optimistic and a little delusional.
Right. But anybody that's ever done anything great, a business or whatever it may be, you know, you have to be that way in order to do that. Like,
it's really refreshing to hear.
Everybody's not doing it. It's not something that we were raised to do or put in us. Like, you know, it's something that we got to take a leap of faith, and you got to just don't worry about that parachute. You know what I'm saying? Just take off.
Just go. Yeah. And
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm sure you've dealt with hard times just like anybody else, you know.
Oh, bro, hard times.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just tell you a little story about, I'm BigPo. I'm from West Monroe, Louisiana. What I do is hip hop, country, rock, mix it all together. So you can call it whatever you want to call it. But you know, all my life, you know, my parents divorced when I was young. You know, lived that co-parenting life where you got to see your daddy on the weekend, stuff like that. So I didn't have the, you know, the American pie, whatever you want to call it. But you know, I got into music in 96, 97. You know, and started working there. Went to my first studio, and late 99, early 2000, we put out a hybrid country rap album. We recorded in Nashville, Tennessee, me and Broadnex. I got out of high school, went to college for 1 year, dropped out. Started working, you know, pipeline, construction, whatever I could do. And eventually I started making good money in directional drilling. You know, down there in Louisiana, you know, you work on an oil rig or pipeline, or because you know, we come from a poverty-stricken state. Like Louisiana's probably the last place anybody wants to live. Like, we're ranked number 50. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, I still love my culture. I love crawfish. I love Saints football, LSU Tigers. You know, like,
I always see that.
Everything that embodies Louisiana. You know that. You know, we're a different breed down there because you have to be. You have to be to win, and you know, it's just the way we was raised. The hurricanes, Katrinas, and all, you know, rebuilding and tearing down. So it's just that mentality that I've had. And in 2008, had a car accident when I flipped my truck. I went out one night, got messed up on pills and smoking and drinking, and got about a mile and a half from the house, got ejected from my vehicle. I had a Nissan Titan 4-wheel drive, just put some 33s on there, you know, I making good money, you know, and I finally got to a point in my life where, you know, I was like, I'm going to be all right. And anyways, I flipped my truck, got ejected out of the vehicle, broke my back, broke my hip, 6 ribs, my shoulder.
Damn.
And, you know, I woke up in the hospital and I couldn't move either one of my legs.
Oh, no.
So I was like, man, like, you know, what have I done? Like, I've lost everything that I've worked for, and you know, got charges stemming from this. You know what I'm saying? Like, already been in trouble with the law previously for drugs. You know what I'm saying? So I just like, what am I gonna do, man? And it's kind of where my faith, my faith comes in the picture, and I asked the Lord right there. I was like, Lord, just get me out this situation, and I'll go tell the world what you've done for me. You know, I was raised in the church as a young boy with my grandparents, and it was right then and there where I could have gave up or I could have fought. You know, I had surgery, I had a spinal fusion. Still this day, I can't feel from my knee to my waist, right here where my stomach is, right here, from the, you know, the nerve damage and everything.
No kidding.
This leg over here, my left leg's, you know, it's bigger than the right. I don't have a complete quad or hamstring. And that's another reason why I don't wear shoes on stage. You know, they call me the barefoot boss, you know, 10 toes down.
I seen somebody said, why ain't you barefoot, bro? He's got his shoes off.
Man, it's too cold up here in Indiana for to be barefoot up here. Look, when I get out the truck, I'm about froze, man.
Yeah. No, it's really cool though to, you know, to hear that, because I feel like and you know, I've met a lot of people that, most people that you even talk to that, someone will say have made it. They've always said, I
Yeah.
ain't made no, it's
Right.
always like
Right.
that mentality of it's just time to keep going. But anyone that's got that level of whatever, there was always, at least anyone that I've really talked to, it seems like there's always been a breaking point of like, okay, this has happened and I'm either going to fight or do something. Like it's
Right.
got to be better than this. Like there's that
Right.
inflection point of it's time to do more or give it up,
Right.
and it's really cool to hear that. And I always like getting that out of people and like hearing their stories.
And I think, my journey, my path, I'm hard headed. I made a lot of mistakes.
Holla, me too.
But even when I broke my back, I had to learn how to walk. Well, I was addicted to pain pills and stuff like that already. I was already, slanging and doing all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I was that dude in town, like that really contributed to a lot of people being junkies, man. Like and I took from the world for so long. And even after my wreck, they sent me home with a briefcase full of pills.
Yep.
So naturally, just to wake up every day, I had to take pills. Just what I'm saying. I couldn't put my socks on, my clothes. I couldn't go to the bathroom on my own.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying. So it was in like where I had to fight to get that back. But I'm still battling addiction this whole time, and eventually it got to the point to where I think maybe in 2010 or 11, after I finally learned how to walk, I went from a hover round to a walker to a cane. And then, and I walk with a limp. That's why I wear boots and stuff a lot because of that. But, it was like, I had a choice right there. Like, well, you're still living miserable. You're miserable. You have to eat these pills every day. You're high all the time. Like you're just to numb the pain, and then the feeling of where I'm never going to be nobody. I'm never going to have a good looking woman because of my situation. I'm never going to be successful. All those things play in part on top of people calling you a junkie and, a dope dealer, a dope head.
Yeah.
Like, so I was counted out and left for dead, and I was locked up all the time. Like, what I'm saying? Missing Christmas and Thanksgiving, and having to tell my daughter that I was working, but I was locked up, man.
Yeah.
So, I've, a lot of that, I put that on myself. But I still had a choice to where I could have gave up and just kept digging that hole and probably wouldn't be here because in about 2010 and 11, I OD'd twice.
No kidding.
I got to the point where I was injecting Oxycontins on a daily basis. That's the only way I could numb my pain internally, externally, all that. It was just miserable. And finally, I got tired of that one day and I went to a little church down the road called Point Assembly of God, and that's where I got my shit together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's where, I got that wake up call and that spirit back.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy getting away from that lifestyle. But I knew it was time. It was time to do that, and luckily, the Lord blessed me with the gift of music. And to be able to tell my stories, travel the country where we've been everywhere this year, like, North Carolina, Colorado, Florida, everywhere.
Yeah.
Doing this music, telling my stories of overcoming things that I'm going through now. Think like this new album that's coming out next Friday. It's stuff that I was going through, 5-6 months ago.
Yeah.
Because we always have those battles. We always have those struggles and demons that want to come back into our life and stuff like that. So, it's a constant fight, and I'm glad I got people, my supporters, we call them po folks. And they're people that they're like me. Like, I don't never want these people to think that I'm put myself up on this pedestal up here so high that, I'm just like y'all and I'm gonna write songs to help y'all get through your day, to make you smile, to make you overcome some valley you've hit, whatever, So I'm blessed, man. I love this music. Thankful I get to do this.
Yeah. And I wonder if maybe you're like me in this, but I rarely sit back. Like I feel like I set a lot of goals, and it's hard sometimes for me to take a step back and like kind of look and see where I'm at. I mean, are you like that at all?
Well, yeah, I'm never satisfied, and you got to
Yep.
put blinders on when you're doing something of this caliber.
Yeah.
Because you got outside hate, you got people who don't want you to win, you got people closing doors on you. When there's a bag involved, stuff gets shady.
Yep.
It's just the way it is, man.
Yep.
And that's why I hadn't really focused my goals on. It's all about the bag, because the Lord gonna take care of me either way it goes. Now, do I want to be successful and monetarily and not struggle? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the path that I've taken, I think it takes a little bit longer to be successful on the monetary end, because I'm not in your face talking about race or this and that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just my stories, my what I go through, the things that I did when I was growing up and how I was raised and stuff like that. So, but man, where we've came from 2015 to now, doing shows with the likes of, like Adam Calhoun and Church, and, being able to headline now, and all these guys, man, Demon, and, I could go on and on and on. But this lane and this genre and this demographic of people who follow it is just something special.
They are. It's very wild to see. They're the closest group of people, I feel like, that
Right.
you can get a big, like, conglomerate amount of, this
Right.
big amount of people, and they really do, like, just in unison come together and support stuff like that, like what you're doing tonight.
Right.
And it's the coolest thing to see, especially when it's everyone just for one solid cause, even if it's one night out of the year. It's
right. And to see these hardworking blue collar dudes and females out here, they're independent artists, chart #1 on iTunes. Like, our last album hit #9. I thought there's no way in the world I'll hit top 10 in the world. You know what I'm saying? But these people pull together for us, and we're not mainstream music, and we're still out here booking shows. We're still growing,
selling them out,
selling singles, selling, streams on top of streams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just amazing how things have changed in the music industry.
Yeah, especially, and I think it's especially cool to see it, as it kind of unfolds. People are doing it now, just independent, no label, and doing things the way that they want to do it. And you don't have to answer to some asshole that, like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you.
Which gets a pure artist.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? It gets that, where you're not writing songs just for, but here's a booty shaking song. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's none of that. Like, you just, and that's the beauty of it. And I think that's what makes it real.
And
feel me?
The one thing that I can kind of relate to on that is just like with this podcast, when you don't have outside influences, it can be real pure, real quick. And I feel like that's how you can build a real audience of people that you can connect with.
Absolutely, because when we can just be ourselves and do us, that's when we flourish and thrive. And that's when people can say, all right, well, hey, I relate to this. I like what he's doing. Like, this ain't put on. Right. Like, in a lot of entertainment, whether it be podcasts or music, a lot of people are putting on. These people are playing roles, which it is entertainment. It's acting. It's all that.
Yeah.
But, when you can just lay back, you don't have to, lie or become some character.
Right.
That's when you get them real people, man.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of it. And that's why I honestly do like the country, like just the country rap scene. And I know it kind of goes back and forth on whatever you got, like whatever you're going to call it or whatever, but it is very pure in that. Like, the people that you see on stage are the real, like, that's the people that you talk to. And I think that's really respectable. Right. And on top of that, it's a ridiculous idea, honestly. If you have, you have like this group of board members, right? And they're like, well, I don't like that song because I think you just need to change this right here. Right. Or I don't like this episode of your podcast because, well, you didn't quite say it this way. Right. That shit doesn't matter. That shit doesn't matter, and when you are on your own doing your own thing, the only person you have is you, and it's a good thing when it's good, and when it's bad, you're only blaming you.
Right. Now, you got to live with your mistakes. And, we're not always going to be perfect, Brandon. We're always going to think we're right sometimes, and it's part of growing as an individual or human being. You gotta you got to live and learn, you know, and
that.
find out what works and what don't, you know. But in the end, if we just wake up every day, have goals, ambitions, work hard, have faith, you know, we can accomplish anything we want to do.
Yeah, I always tell people now, man, almost everything that I decide to do, I try to base it on, you know, am I
Right,
happy? Like, is this going to make me happy?
right,
And it's the greatest feeling in the world to wake up every day and just legit be happy. You know,
right.
you don't have to
We
go.
have a choice.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't have to go and answer to somebody you don't want to answer to, and you don't have to go and do this other shit with someone that you don't want to work with or whatever. Like, it's such a good feeling, man, and it's really good to see it with other people.
right.
Just like
But
with
you
you.
know the saying, it's lonely at the top, but it's a bitch at the bottom. You know, and not to say that I'm at the top or nothing
I
like
get it.
that,
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you can't let outsiders into your life like you want to,
yeah.
because you know when you let people be around you, and I see this all the time, and it's happened to me so many times. People get next to you, and you let them next to you. Well, the whole time they're taking notes on you, on all your flaws and all the things that you do that may not be appealing to the public or whatever it may
Yep.
be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so you got to be careful, man. You kind of got to isolate yourself
Yeah, and
from the world a little bit, if you want to say it like that. But
yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. What about yes man? You get a lot of
uh,
those?
yeah, I'm not fond of yes men. Like, I try to, so like I have a group of guys and people that I have in my life that I know if I can talk to them on a daily basis or whatever, and they're not going to just tell me. You want to surround yourself with people that are not going to be like, yeah, that's fire. I love that
That's
song.
great. That's great.
Or yeah, you should do that. Yeah, or just whatever you come, you know. No, man, you want people around you that you know that have your best interests at heart at all times, and it's hard to find people like that.
It
You know what I'm
is.
saying? So
And then one thing I've found that's odd too, and I'm nothing, you know, I mean, I ain't saying this like I'm anybody special because I'm not. But one thing I've found too is that when you get people that try to be in your life, like I feel like a lot of times they try to be like that negative, like they're like, oh, I'm not a yes man, but you need to change this.
right,
And it's like, wait, what? Like,
right,
it's just an odd dealing with people, especially when you get any amount of things going on in your life, no matter
right.
what it is. Dealing with people is always the most interesting part.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like there's some crazies in what I do, but man, I met some unbelievable people on this journey, and you know, everybody, you never know who's going to be that bridge or that building block
Yeah.
in your career or whatever it may be. So I kind of go off of energy, you know,
Yeah.
like just like with the situation why I'm here with you, because I felt an energy of like, you know, maybe certain people, I have this feeling that they're supposed to be part of my plan somehow.
Yeah.
Like so I get that intuition.
I do too.
And
Yeah.
so I act on it. I used to be hesitant on that, but now when I see it, so a lot of times I'll be looking at seeing somebody, and I see them again, and I'm like, oh, you know, something's adding up here, you know, type deal. So
Yeah.
I think we just keep our eyes open, good spirit, stay vigilant, man, and you can be successful. And it's all about, you know, networking. You said it earlier.
Yeah. It
Uh,
is, man. And
Networking is a big deal.
it's so cool too. And it's honestly, it's really humbling, you know, like
Yeah.
just like, you know what I mean? Having you here and like, just like, what are the odds that I would have met you? I don't know when that was, a year or two ago,
Yeah,
whenever.
yeah, it was New Year's.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
New Year's. What is
yeah.
that? Was it Champagne or Chicago? I can't
Uh,
remember now.
Starts with a B. Peoria.
Oh, okay.
No, she
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
P, are you peeing?
Yeah.
I got a B.
Yeah, man. It's just wild to think that, like, back then, like, if somebody would have told me, yeah, man, in a year or two or whatever, you're gonna have a podcast, you're gonna get to know this guy, and he's gonna come in on your podcast, and like, I don't see that, man. Like, you know, and yet here it is. It's really cool to see everything unfold, and
You
especially
know,
for the better, like that.
yeah. And I was gonna try to make it when we was already come down here and stuff. And I didn't really know how far out the way it was, but you know, like I said, I like to see good people win. I think I can see people's spirits. You know, I just have that ability. I know you got something good going on, and if there's anything that I can ever do to help you out, man, hit me up.
Dude, that's yeah.
So
I really appreciate that, man. I really do. And like I say, same here. You know, anyone that's listening to this or watching, if you're watching right now, this is BigPo, and all your music's available everywhere, right?
yeah, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Pandora, BigPo Music on Instagram.
Gonna be in Indianapolis
YouTube,
tonight.
Indianapolis tonight.
Are you on tour now? I don't want to cut you off.
No, not right now. This is what's upcoming for us. We got the show tonight. Next Friday, the 20th, December 20th, my next album is available for pre-save. If you go ahead and pre-order the album, send us a screenshot. We're going to send you some songs off the album. So, and then it's going to release on the 12th of January. We're going to shoot multiple videos December 31st and the 1st in Wentzville, Missouri. We're going to have our first annual Po Folk celebration. I'm going to do a live performance on New Year's night. We're going to shoot fireworks. I'm going to cook my gumbo. It's RSVP only, bigpomusic@gmail.com. If you want to book BigPo, bigpomusic@gmail.com. And then January 4th, we're going to be in Iowa City, Iowa at Wildwood Barbecue and Saloon with a Hard Target in Fort Knox. So that's our upcoming schedule right there.
Been busy.
Yeah, and we're booking for the spring and summer. If you want a show, guaranteed show, I put on. You know what I'm saying? I get up there, I do my thing.
You do.
Country, rock, hip hop, get up there and have a good old time and tell my stories and make you connect with my music. I think I was at a show last weekend or weekend before, and somebody says, I believe you. I believe your story. It's different when somebody's just up there singing a song.
Yeah.
And when somebody's connected to that lyric,
it's got to be the best feeling ever too.
It is because for that moment, because there's a lot of struggles and ups and downs that comes with this financially and stuff, because I have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
The production, the videos, all that, and it's not cheap to do this, you know what I'm saying, at a higher caliber. And, I still got a long ways as far as that goes to grow. But the main thing is from 2015 when we put out God's Country, then we put out Gumbo Soul, then we put out All In, which charted top 10 in the world this year, and we have one more album coming out, and so we've grown each and every time, and I'm thankful to have some of the best supporters in the game that believe in me and believe in this movement, and they go out there and get that music. So pre-order BigPo Lone Wolf next Friday, December 20th. I promise y'all, there's something on there for everybody. I don't care what kind of music you like. I got a song for you.
Hell yeah, man. It's really good to have you here. I don't want to hold up too much of your time. I know you got to be leaving
here. Yeah, we got to haul ass. It's probably about an hour and a half, I think, from here to where we got to go, and we got to make sure sound and all that's good. But
yeah,
everybody that's watching and everybody that's tuning in, y'all go follow the B Team on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's get his subscribers up, y'all. All the Po folks, I want y'all to get behind this man. Y'all tune into this podcast. I've been watching this man grow from the time he had the idea of a podcast. So that's why I'm here today, and I want everybody that supports me to come over here and help this man out right here.
Man, I appreciate the hell out of that. I really do. And the B Team podcast, it's available on iTunes, on Spotify, and on Stitcher. I'm streaming live right now from Facebook. And then it does go up on YouTube after that. I have a playlist on my YouTube channel that's just the B Team podcast along with my vlogs. And right now I'm actually giving away Yetis. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel here within the next week or two, we're giving away a bunch of Yetis. So that will get you in. So all you have to do is just subscribe to it. We're going to go through and pick a bunch of people and give them Yetis.
That's dope.
Everyone loves those Yetis, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. So before we wrap this up, I'd just like to thank some of the sponsors, man. Warren County Creations, they make cool things like that Gator over there.
Dude, I gotta have one of these Gators.
Yeah.
I'm all about that Gator life.
I've got a head in there, a deer head. They make all kinds of stuff out of metal and rebar and weld it all together and grind it down and make cool stuff out of it. The Pizza King here in town, I'm a heller Pizza King eater, man.
Dude, I bet you are. Podcast Pizza King eater.
Yeah, man. I got the BP in Williamsport and Cinesaw's Garage, man. They do great work and they're great folks. And it's excellent to have them involved and have them on my side. I couldn't do any of that stuff without them. And if you're watching this, just share the video. The more shares, the better it is, man. It really helps out. You
Absolutely. Share, y'all.
Yeah.
Share this thing.
Yeah, man. And it's a pleasure, dude, to have you here.
Man.
It's really is great. And I appreciate you taking the time and doing your thing, man. And
Absolutely.
I hope you have a great turnout.
I appreciate you having me on here, and I want to this time next year I want to look back at this podcast and see that you grew from where we're at today.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I love growth, I love seeing people win. So once again, y'all, BigPo, BigPo. Go follow me on all the social medias, BigPo Music. Go get all my songs on iTunes, all that good stuff. New album coming out next Friday. Y'all get that thing because we want to chart in the top 5 in the world. That's
Hell
what
yeah.
we're going for.
And I'm all for it. I'm behind it. If you're listening, go get it. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate everyone watching, and I will see y'all soon.
God bless y'all, man.